Well, first of all, thank you for coming here. As you said, my name is Kate Castellano, but you can also call me Kate. And the topic today I'm going to talk is my developer journey from Pageants to coding. So the agenda today is going to be very different. The agenda is going to be based on 3 questions that I've had in my life. And I hope that when I answer these questions, you get a little bit of an idea what is my stance regarding women in IT and women in tech especially. So the first question is, why? So why did you decide to become a developer? And mostly important, why are you staying in tech after all these awful stories about Uber, about GitHub and all this stuff? The second question is how. So how can we make tech a much more diverse environment and welcoming for everybody, not only women, but also gender, not only gender, but also sexual preference, religion, race, and such. And the third question is Pageant, because I know all of you have it in your mind, why did you put that on the title? And I promise I will answer that all the way to the end because I want to have your attention for the whole presentation. Okay, let's talk a bit about the next one. Who am I? So as I said before, I come from Caracas, Venezuela. I am an informatics engineer, and I've been doing mobile development for the past 5 years. 3 of them I've been working with Audibird. What I'm doing at Audibird is I am part of the iOS team, and what we're doing is a product that we want to, a point-of-sale system for gastronomers, and we want them to be successful. That is on my, as I said, my professional side, but my personal side, as he said before, I'm very passionate about diversity. So I like to join women communities where I can help them be the best and I can help them feel secure and safe. So as I said, I was an event manager for the Burning Your Kids mentorship program of 2015. I am a Swift and Objective-C mentor for Learn IT Girl and Codebar.io, and I'm a co-organizer for Women Who Go. Now that we talk about that, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So why attracting and retaining women in IT? A lot of people say, well, that might not be a problem, right? That it's okay, we're just doing a lot of initiatives, everything is fine. But let's talk about facts. Okay, so what we see here is a pamphlet that millionwomenmentors.com released in 2015. And inside the pamphlet, they have these statistics. And in these statistics, they say women are 50% of the workforce. And 24 of these women are working in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. But what is scary about that is that 50% of these women will drop out in the first 10 years. And right now, I'm on my 6-year mark. And you're like, okay, so why are you staying? Let's exactly tell us 3 reasons why did you decide to become an engineer. And these 3 reasons, how I explain, why did I decide to become an engineer, I will explain it 3 times in my life. So the first reason, and I need to explain to this, is about my childhood. To know a little bit about me is that I am the middle child of 3 women. The only male influence that I have in my house is my dad. Or even our dogs are female. And why do I explain that? Is because in my house there was something very important that happened. Is that knowledge was not gender. I never heard my dad say, no, you don't do that because you're a girl. Or you cannot play with these toys because they're boys' toys. Nothing happened in my life like that. And I was just talking to Sarah right now, and we also realized that since you're a kid, we are unconscious bias. There's a video that I don't know if you have seen, where, I think it was in Sweden, where they put baby girls and baby boys and dress them in each other's clothes. And they just bring the babies to, I don't know, some normal people and say, okay, make them play. And they have Legos and they have dolls. So all the people just grab the girls and immediately go to the dolls, or other people grab the baby boys and immediately go to the Legos, and then when they realize, okay, this was actually a girl instead of a boy, they just are very shocked. So this is something that you have to take care or take into account when you're talking to kids. Just be encouraging with them learning about science or knowledge, having knowledge, but not being gender. And I really like this quote about Nichols. Can you go back, please? Sure. Thank you very much. Nichols is a former NASA ambassador and actress. Most of you know her as Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek. And she says that science is not a boys' game and it's not a girls' game. It's everyone's game. It's about where we are and where we're going. So that's a part of my childhood. Then the second part is when I was in high school. So after I went out of high school, I decided, well, what do I want to do? I said I want something related to computers. I did my research and I realized that I have a passion for information. I really love how information is used, transform, patterns, and all this stuff. So I decided I'm going to become an informatics engineer. And why did I came to all this thought? It was because I have an advantage. I had easy, like earlier access to computers and coding. In my high school, I had Visual Basic, was a long time ago. And I had programs where I could just drag and drop and create like physics things and all this stuff. And that helped me a lot. That helped me a lot with computational thinking. Because right now, when I see a problem, I try to deconstruct it. I try to solve small issues. I try to refactor my life. I try to do a lot of things that you do when you're programming, which is very good and sometimes very annoying. Also helped my curiosity, because the fact that when you're a coder, you have the tools to build whatever you want. Your computer is just a means of using things. So it opened my whole world and built new things. And then the third one was the job opportunities, because when I was evaluating what I wanted to do with my life, I said, okay, tech is very broad. So I decided to just go to one small niche, which is mobile development, but I can go, for example, UX, DevOps, or whatever I want. And actually, this was very helpful because thanks to me being studying like informatics, I'm here talking to all of you, because the company brought me from Venezuela to here, Germany. And then the third one is why I decided to stay. And why am I staying every day? And this is a very one that I'm very passionate about. And it is, thank you very much, that technology, I really believe that technology can change and improve lives. Just this week, I pulled out these 3 articles. These are from the 2017 achievements that the MIT has shown. And we're talking right now in 2017 about quantum computers, about hot solar cells, about reversing paralysis, virtual reality, things that a long time ago, we thought it was just ideas. And I really want to stay in tech, even though that the technology can be used also for bad. But I really wanted to stay in tech because I want to be part of this. I want to be part of the people that build things to help others. Now that we talk about that, it's like, okay, that's very passionate. But as I said before, we've talked about the Ubers, the like sexual harassment, the glass ceilings, like what's happening? Like, how can we help these women that are dropping out on like the first 10 years to stay? What can we do? So the next one is exactly, how can we help then? So I'm going to put this to 3 type of people today, because we have companies here, we have hiring managers, and we have individuals. So the first thing I'm going to address is the companies. So what companies can do? Companies can support local communities who are committed to diversity. There are some communities out there, I'm part of most of them, where we are trying to build a safe space for women to learn new things. And that doesn't mean that if it's just a women-based community, that we're not accepting men, that we're just separating ourselves from everybody, that we just have to be special. No. The thing with these communities is that at the end of the day, we want these communities to not exist anymore. We want these communities to not exist and just all of us sit on the same table and be able to learn. I have here some examples of the communities for these companies. Rails Girls, Geekettes, Younger Girls, Women Who Code, Women Tech Maker, Women Who Go, Code.io, and Ladies at UX. And if you say, well, we have worked with all of them, this is a list here of all the communities that you have in Berlin that are very active and that you can approach them. And how can you help them also? You can provide them spaces, you can give them money for the workshops, and also very important, if you have in your company somebody who's very passionate about teaching, encourage them to be mentors. We need people who want to teach, and we need people to want to help for this cause. So the second part is for hiring managers, because the hiring managers are doing a lot. Like I've been a hiring manager, and I've heard, oh no, but we're going to the meetups with women, we're just like trying to approach them, we go to the LinkedIn with a lot of stuff. But none of them think about the company's job description. I don't know how many of you are women in tech who have seen, we're looking for the rock stars. We're looking for the Guardians of the Galaxy. We're looking about, I don't know, the ninjas. Yeah. There you go. Exactly, we're looking for the ninjas. And you also put, like I went through a lot of like job descriptions, and I've seen always the same. We have free beer, we have kicker table, we have pinball, like whatever, pinball table, and we have PlayStations. So what did this say to me when I went to apply? This seems like a fraternity. I don't want to join there. This is going to be a bunch of guys who are just drinking beers, and why would I even want to join? So you need to be very careful about your job description because it can be catering to the cliche of the typical nerd that is just going to be just coding, drinking beer, and that's it. And if you don't believe me, you can go to this website over here at the end, and you can post your job description. And it will tell you if it's strongly male or strongly feminine. It will tell you the reason why, which is very useful. And then the third one is for the individuals. So what can you do? If you want to join a community, please go. Like, there's several communities with any programming language that you're going to find, and you can just join them and be part of that. These are the most welcoming communities I've ever worked with. I really enjoy because just the fact of going there and see people who are like the same as you and you're not feeling judged, it feels really good. And if you say, well, no, I've already done that, it's not for me, I strongly recommend you to reach out to potential mentors. There's a lot of people that say, oh, like, I really want to be like Sarah, but maybe Sarah doesn't have time for me, like Sarah's high profile. I think Sarah will be, for example, very, very like flattered if somebody just comes and say, hey, respectfully, I would like to take a coffee with you because I really enjoy your goal in life. Can you just talk to me? Most of the people will say, well, maybe I'm busy, maybe let's talk later. But just reach out to them, because at the end, all of us are humans. And all of us are very flattered that somebody comes to me like, oh my God, you like me? And if all of this fails and you say, no, Kate, I've done everything in my life, what you can do is the following. And there's a small video for that. I think, let's say if you place. Oh. Well, I'm going to make it easy for you. There's a little website called Let Me Google That For You, where you can put this following URL, hiremorewomenintech.com. I advise you, that is our website. And it will show you there all the initiatives that you can do to help more women in tech. So you don't see it like, oh, I'm not doing enough. No, you can. There's a lot of initiatives there. And for the final question, so pageant, right? I come from Venezuela, as I explained before. And Venezuela is a country where we are almost close to have Guinness records for Miss Universe crowns. We already have a Guinness record for back-to-back. Nobody has that, we just have that. And in Venezuela, you're expected to fulfill its stereotypes. So you have to be pretty, you have to be delicate, you have to be all this stuff. And that doesn't comply with the image that we have with a female developer. Female developer has to be a certain way, and pageant people doesn't have to be a certain way. So this little kid, when he was 5, transformed into a developer that is in front of you today. So that was it. And thank you very much for listening to me.